Yeah. What aperture would you use? So, what are we on this? So this was shot at...
And how acceptable would that be if you were to...
So if I was doing that for a client, it depends on who the client is, but for sort of magazine or editorial, they would ask if they had one that's the main, my eye leads straight into the middle of that, would be in focus. But that's at f4, and you've got like the back of the board here right to sort of the middle of the front is all in focus. So if we went to f7.1 or f8, like everything would be fine. But the only problem you then start to have is your background becomes more in focus as well. So a way around that is if you had to get everything in focus, there's two ways of doing it. One is focus stacking, which is a series of focal points and then you blend it all together, which I've never done, I think it takes too long. The other thing would be to move the subject and the camera as far this way as we can so the background's even further away.
And keeping your background simple?
Yeah, always keep, yeah.
Be really
No, because again, even if that was a bit more in focus, the only things that you start to see is the bars from the frame outside. So I just prefer to bring the subject and the camera further away from the background, and then that way you can still maintain the focus effect, which is quite nice to use.
Can you blur that with the background separately?
You can in Photoshop. Yeah, so in Photoshop you can go in and copy this out. I don't know. I can try it and see. Let's have a look. It might be that I feel that sometimes if you start to do that, your pictures, if it's very subtle, it's okay. If you go over the top, you start to lose that clarity. But I always like to see it. It's worth having a look. Like, 2 seconds on this. So, I was saying to someone earlier about using Photoshop. I use mainly Lightroom, and this is my favourite button, Content Aware Fill, because it pretty much just picks up everything around it and tries to piece together, and like it's not far off. But I mean, for a quick fix, that's not bad. So Content Aware Fill. I don't want to go too much into the Photoshop tech side, but that basically uses its surrounding areas and pieces together the pixels to make it look like step and repeat. What was your question? Sorry, it was blurring, wasn't it?
Yeah, but then I was also thinking in Lightroom, when you said that might not be that particular
in sharpness, yeah.
Would you highlight that and then
bring that back in?
That character?
Not really, because it's out of focus. It's not. Yeah. Ideally, you'd want to reshoot it, especially if you're tethering to the computer. You can see that right there and then. And things always look great when you're looking down the lens, and then you get back to the computer, plug it in, and everything looks slightly different. But I find that, I don't know if this is anyone who's crossed cameras, but coming from like the mirrorless system, the pictures look so much better on the computer than they do on the camera. I found that on the Canon system, the pictures looked okay, but then they looked okay on the computer. I don't know if that's something that, like, if you've not experienced it, maybe it's just me being really hypercritical. But without going back in, you can't pull focus. There is certain cameras you can.
The focus bit, because sometimes when I take pictures, the focus is just on the
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, the f-stop?
That's, yes, so it's a mixture of...
So it's focus, or is it a focus, do I need to change the focus setting?
It's the focal point.
Yeah.
So you've got...
So narrow.
It's so narrow, especially with your 1.8 in your lens. You're going to have like one really pin sharp point, and then the further away in distance that you get from that point, the more out of focus everything's going to come.
You could spot focus it,
Yeah.
But then that focus is still really, sometimes I think, well, that's annoying.
You've got one thing sharp. Yeah.
The whole, why can't I get the whole
only a slice of the plane is in focus.
Yeah.
You can get an app on your phone that will tell you the exact distance it could be.
So, but really that's just me changing the aperture, is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's making
All your
it...
distance.
Yeah. One or the other, it's like a battle. If you're doing a flat lay, If you see on this one.
Yeah. Well, in a flat lay, you really want it all to be in front. Yeah.
Well, ideally yes, because you've not got much depth, because
Yeah.
it's, you know, that far
But
from.
sometimes that basil would be in focus and the rest
Yeah.
wouldn't.
But so
that's-
we're in this, what was our settings on this one? So this is 5.6, and you can still see, like, basil's in focus. That's quite a good crop. I'll keep that, it's going on my portfolio then. But you've got the edges of, like, the bread are still focused, the background's still in focus, and 5.6, when you're shooting there, that long lens we're on the other shot, what you were saying with that plane of focus is very fine line. That's why prime lenses are very good to a point, but if you're shooting things that need a lot of things in focus, you need to be careful that you don't drop off the focus and people, like you were saying earlier about the group shot you were doing, like a group shot at 1.8 on a, it's not a pretty situation.
Do you use the another line of the 55 to 200?
Yeah.
Different lens?
Yeah, again,
Or you just would get into it?
I'll stay away from that group shot.
Yeah.
But no, if you're doing something where on a wider lens, you still would need to be mindful of your aperture
Yeah.
to make sure that that is
Right.
playing a good part. So that's pretty much where I would take it. I wouldn't go further away from that. I try to keep my images wider so they can crop if needs be, so they can get like a. Sometimes for Uber they like to do multiple crops out of one image. So the main one is the 1x1 square, which is not that. It is anywhere in that frame. And comfortably, I can say they can quite easily come in on that as well and come like something similar to what we were saying earlier. The other one is like the Facebook banners and Twitter banners, which I think is similar to like a 16:9. They usually send over a load of different sizes, and then they ask me to crop appropriately. So if I know that that's coming in before a shoot, I can sometimes shoot with the edges of the floor in, and then I can reduce that afterwards and still know that I've got the ability to like get a portrait, landscape, a panoramic out of it. And sometimes it's nice when you play around with different crops. Like you didn't realise you had a shot in there that you could make two shots out of one. So it's just really being able to sort of take things at face value, making sure that you know that like you're good at what you do. I can still develop a nice set of pictures.
Because it's a bit
When I go back to Asia, I'm going to once I find a